Well, let's go and grab our chairs. Move it to the center. Okay. I'm going to kind of angle it to where you can see me. I have mismatched socks because I was putting them on at like 3 a.m. I want you to get to where your, so let's see. I want you to come to where you're on the edge of your seat and your feet are flat, okay? Hands can be on your thighs. I want you to slide the shoulders away from your ears, kind of give them a little wiggle. So trying to just let them fall away. We're going to stack our ribs over our pelvis and pull tall through the crown of the spine, and you can close your eyes if you want. We're going to start with just some deep, deep breathing. So try to fill your lungs with air as you inhale. And as you exhale, again, just soften the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale. If you need the feedback of your hand, you can place your hand on your belly and kind of fill the belly to the side, front and back as you inhale. And as you exhale, softening it back in. We're just going to do that a couple of times. It's just going to help to get the body moving. Two more deep breaths like that. You can keep your eyes closed if you like, but you're going to pull tall through the crown of the spine and take your right ear to your right shoulder. Allow the shoulders to drop away towards the ground. Pull the head back to center, and let's go over to the other side, lengthening through the head and neck as you take it over. And then slowly coming back to center. You're going to take those fingertips and you're going to slide them towards your knees, press your ribs back towards the seat of your chair, peel the shoulders forward, take your chin to your chest, and tuck your bum under. So you're going to come into the seated cat position. And then slowly, one vertebra at a time, lift through the sternum, let the ribs come forward, chin lifts up towards the sky, pull the shoulders open. Exhale, slide the fingertips forward, press the ribs back, chin drops down, tucking the tailbone under. Inhale, take the tailbone back, chest comes forward, shoulders open, chin lifts. Doing that one more time on your own, exhaling as you slide back. And inhale as you slowly come up. Find yourself back to center. I want you to take your hands and sweep them up overhead. Inhale, reach those fingertips high. Exhale, take your left hand to your right knee. Other hand comes to the back seat of your chair, okay? It's gonna be a nice gentle twist. You're gonna lengthen up through your spine. Exhale, look over your back shoulder. Don't use anything to kind of crank that twist yet. Allow it just to softly happen. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, grow a little bit taller. Exhale, look over that back shoulder. This hand that's on the back seat, reach it up towards the sky and take it over diagonally to your opposite knee. You're just gonna feel that start to stretch and open through the shoulder. Inhale, lift both hands overhead. Exhale, let's go to the other direction. So our right hand comes to our left knee, other hand to the seat behind you. Inhale, grow taller. Exhale, look over that back shoulder. You'll just feel this light twist, nothing too intense. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, look over that back shoulder. Good, good. Take that hand that's on the back seat of your chair, reach it up and over. There you go. Good. And Barbara, that's going to help you having it a little bit further away. That's really going to help. That way you can kind of move and see. You don't have to worry about holding it. Inhale, both arms overhead. Exhale, take them behind your head. So I'm going to shake from the side. You're going to come like so. Slowly Ribs stay down. Take your right elbow forward, left elbow back. And to center. Try not to move your hips here. Take that other elbow forward. And center. Now, drop your right elbow down towards the ground, lifting your opposite elbow up. Center and other side. So we're getting this side flexion as well as, let's do that again. So one elbow pills forward, other arm pills back. Pull those elbows back, opening up the pecs. Center, other side. Center. Elbow drops down. Take a deep breath. Fill the ribs this time. Really expand here. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale, lift that elbow, expand through the ribs. And coming back to center. All right, we're gonna straddle our chair, so kind of shake it out. We're gonna take one leg out to the side, the other leg out. So here's what you're gonna look like from the front. It's a nice supported warrior two. So it kind of takes out the strengthening aspect of it and allows you kind of to relax into the posture. So the goal here is to open up through the adductors, through the inside part of your thighs. Try to press this knee out. Try to press into both feet, okay? You're gonna take your arms up just like you wore in warrior two. Pull those thumbs back and open. Look over this front hand. Soften the shoulders away from your ears. Take a deep breath for me. In. Exhale, forearm comes to your thigh, arm comes up overhead, supported side angle. Now to lengthen out through the tissues right here and press into that heel, I want you to reach the arm overhead. Still keeping space between the shoulder and ear on this side. Looking up to the ceiling, take a deep breath. Flip that palm to the ceiling. Open, use your thigh to open up, press back towards the back wall. Sweep that arm, make a big, big circle down towards the ground. Lift it up and use your spine, use your tummy to pull yourself back into your warrior two. Palms down this time. Back hand comes down. Forward hand moves up towards the ceiling. Stretch to that side this time. Lift your spine nice and tall. Let's switch sides. So you're gonna bring both legs together, kind of shake it out, do a little shimmy, and then this other side's gonna bend, foot flat on the ground. The other one's gonna be straight. And again, you'll notice it's a different feeling than doing this actively in class. We're adding the support, but also getting a deeper stretch. So if you need to kind of change the foot position of this straight leg, feel free, experiment with it. It might not even be completely straight. That's okay. But try to open up through this anterior portion, through these adductors, the inner thigh, palms up, shoulder height. Now, the cool thing about this is you can look at yourself on the camera or you can look at me and make sure that your shoulders and ribs and hips are stacked. We don't want to be here. Pull it back. Drag those thumbs back, open up through the chest. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, forearm comes down to your thigh, top arm reaches up. Extend that stretch. Take the fingertips up overhead, pressing into that foot that is straddling around there. Good. Take a deep breath. Flip that top palm up. Press it open. Feel that stretch. Make a nice big circle here. Take the fingertips down. I might have to go get a kid here. So sweep it down. And lift. Use your tummy, use your spine. Coming on nice and pretty up here. And shake it out. Take that foot in for me. We're going to use goddess pose here. So come to the edge of your seat. But instead of using it as a strengthening posture, we're going to come at it as a stretch. So you're going to turn your toes out 45 degrees. This is very ladylike, y'all, right here. But don't worry, only you can see you. Everyone can see me. Take your hands just on the inside of your thighs and lean your chest forward to one side while you press the opposite arm or the opposite leg out. You're gonna feel that adductor stretch. Good. Come back to center. Opposite shoulder comes forward. Press that inner thigh out. Again, you're just staying within that stretch. No pain here. Let's do that again, both sides. Take this hand, shoulders come forward towards opposite knee, and then you press outwards. Come to center. Good. Second side, slight pressure. Again, think of this kind of like that restorative stretch, just getting everything moving. And back to center. Good job. Using your hands, you can bring your legs back to center. Before we stand up and load everything, I'm going to lift your heels here. I'm going to show you from the side what I'm doing. So your feet are flat on the ground. Come to the edge of your seat. Lift your heels up and press them forward. So you're going to get kind of this activation to the calf, maybe a slight stretch here, and to the bottom aspect of your feet. You want to walk your feet back a little bit so that you can press a little bit more once you get comfortable. Feel free. Okay? And then walk those feet back out. And I want you to squish an orange underneath your heel. Feel that tension and power through the feet. Good. Let's do that again. So slowly pick the heels up. Let them travel forward. If you want to extend that stretch, get a little bit deeper. Walk those feet back a little bit more and press the heels forward even more. Do we feel that? Yeah. This time, 1 foot at a time. We're going to use our big toe to pop a foot up, press it down, squish an orange. The other foot stays elevated here, the other heel. So lift the heel on the first side, pop, press, press. One more time. Use that big toe, pop, press, press. Second side. So leave this heel elevated. This second side is going to pop up using the big toe, press, press. Now, what's the torso doing? Try not to do this. Try to pull up, press those ribs back in space. That way you're also using your abdominals. Lift, pop. Good. Lift, pop. Yes. Nice. Press both heels down to the ground. Shake it out. All right. Go ahead and come to standing. I'm going to swing my chair around here. I want you to use the back side of your chair. Don't worry, we'll use the seat as well. But make sure that you have some room. Okay? I'm going to have you come out into an active goddess posture. So it's going to be wide, almost like a sumo squat. Toes turned out. Light hand press. And press those knees out, sliding your hips straight down. Yeah, feel that? Ribs press back in space, light touch. You're going to take this free hand and you're going to reach it up towards the sky and then pull that elbow back, palm back, opening up to the chest. Here's what we're not doing. We're not sinking in, we're not dropping in. We're just going to pull the elbow back, palm back. Then you're going to side bend, reach the fingertips high, stretch to the side, and then using your torso, pull yourself back up, lift the elbow back. Reach. Press those knees back. Good. Twice more. Reach it up, drop those hips down, stretch the adductors. You guys are kind of noticing a theme here. We're really liberating through here. Up. Draw the elbow back, palm forward. Good. This time, staying right here, I'm going to have you take this top hand that I'm waving to you and touch the seat of the chair. Dropping the hips down, tuck the hips under, lift the elbow up towards the sky. You're going to get a clean stretch right through the torso, the back side as well as the side of the body. Chin tucks, take 2 deep breaths. Feel the breath go into the back pocket here. I'm going to show you to the side. I'm going to have it sent right here. Good. Slowly lift the arms, straighten out through the legs. Hold the palms facing me. Let the chest come forward, arms pull back. So we're gonna look like this. Good. Now hand reaches to this chair. The same knee bends. So we keep the hips level. We lunge into it. Knee aligned with the first and second toe. Take this hand up and over. Again, stretching out to that side. But you have the support here with the chair. Good. Take a deep breath. Good. Slowly come up. Let's switch sides with that chair. Come on. Good. Again, we're still focusing on that goddess posture to start. Toes turn out. Slide the hips down. Ribs press back in space. Slight press back with those knees. Feel the foot flat on the ground. Gentle touch. Take the hand, reach it nice and proud and tall. Feel the stretch to the ribs. Feel that down to the tummy. And then coming up nice and tall, pull the elbow back. Here's what this looks like from the side. Reach that arm up and over, up towards the ceiling. And then pull your spine nice and tall and pull the elbow back, open up to the pecs. Keeping the ribs down. Don't do this. Keep those ribs down. Good. Reach it up. Nice. There you go. Don't forget to breathe here. Exhale. Pull that hand back. Twice more. Reach it proud. Down. Back. Your legs are probably like, wait, I thought we were stretching. We are. We're just getting a little sneaky strength in there too. Coming up. And back. Good job. From right here, making sure that both of these legs straighten, bend them again. Take this top arm up and forward diagonally to the front part of your chair that's closest to me. Tuck the hips under and feel that stretch to the back side of the body as well as the side. It's gonna look like this from the side. Yeah, breathe into this space back here. That's usually where we find a lot of chronic tightness. So I want you to breathe into that space, allowing that to expand the tissues from the inside out. Good. Coming on up. Both arms lift. Chest comes forward. Pull the fingertips back. Good. Get that nice openness through the front side of the body. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Take the hands down, hand touches, toes facing the seat, lunge into it with this knee. Top arm comes up and over. So again, we get that side stretch straight on, chest facing knee, and reaching through the fingertips. Deep breath in and out. Good. Slowly come up. Walk those feet in, shake it out. Turn the chair to face me. All right, let's put this back. There you go. All right, so I'm facing the seat. I'm facing that front post of the chair. You're gonna take your outer leg and point it and flex it on the chair. That supporting knee is bent and everything is facing forward. This top leg, it can be straight or slightly bent. And you're just articulating through the feet by pointing and flexing. Don't worry about the hips right now. We're just worried about the butt. Good. Now press those ribs back in space, collarbones wide. I want you to stick your tailbone out while you point your foot. So stick your tailbone back like you're moving the back wall. Yeah, there you go. Proud chest. Now your knee can be soft here. It does not have to be straight. Flex your foot. And then it's like, oh, hi, hamstring, what's up? Point your foot. Flex your foot. Again, tailbone's back. Point your foot. Flex your foot last time. Point your foot. And flex. Now we've worked the foot, the hamstring. Now I want to focus on the hip. So point your foot. And I want you to bend your supporting leg, proud chest here, tuck your tailbone under, and then stick your tailbone back. And you're gonna feel, it's kind of like, I call it old people twerking. You're tucking your tailbone under and out, but you're doing it very slow. So you feel that movement in your lower back and through the hips. Tuck under, like you're a scared dog tucking its tail. And then model butt, stick the butt out. And you're gonna feel that even more in the hamstring, but also loosening through the hip. One more time, tuck it under. And stick it back. Good, good. Now, neutral hips. So kind of have your tailbone pointing down towards the ground, flex your foot, and take the toes outward, pulling your hips back, take your chest forward. You're gonna feel that in the hip and down the outside of the thigh and lower leg. Good. Take one more deep breath here. Soften in. Good. Toes come back up towards the ceiling. Reach your palm forward. Tailbone sticks back. Lift the palm towards the ceiling. Flip the palm as you meet your ear and press back behind you, making a big circle. Bend that supporting leg. Take the fingertips down towards the floor. Last time. Lift it up. And open. Twist. Look back towards that back wall as you twist. And sweep down. Good. Now take that palm upward about chest height, collarbones wide, and take your thumb out and back, twisting through the spine. Look back at that back thumb. Good. Slowly drop that hand. Let's switch legs. So kind of do a little dance and come around. Again, my toes are facing the seat or this front post. And take that leg up. We're just going to start with a slight bend in that back leg and pointing and flexing the foot. Proud chest, ribs press back in space. Good. Should feel good, just kind of working that ankle, working through the foot, the calf. Just nice and slow. Think like you're pushing and pulling through water. Yeah, good job. Now, I want you to keep it pointed this time. So point, and then stick the bum back, take your chest forward a little bit. And I start to feel that, yeah? And feel free, if you feel this behind the knee, bend your knee, okay? That's gonna send it a little bit more into the beefy portion of your hamstring, which is what we want. Now, point the foot, flex the foot. Woo! Once you flex, it's like, yeah, good morning. Kind of keys in that cat too. Point. Flex. Good. Point. Flex. Last time. Point. And flex. From right here, we're going to switch the focus over to our hips. Tuck the tailbone under. Again, soft bend in the supporting leg. That'll help you get that tilt under like a scared dog. Point your foot and stick the bum back. Now just keep the toe pointed as you tuck under here. And stick the bum back. You can even place your hands on your hips just to feel your hips tuck under and then stick back. Good. One more time. Tuck under. Stick it back. Good. Take the palm upwards. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, reach the fingertips forward, bum back, and lift the fingertips nice and light up towards the ceiling. Flipping the palm as your arm reaches your ear and press back towards the back wall. Bend that supporting leg, sweep the fingertips down and lift it up. Let's do that one more time. Flip the palm, open, press it open, feel that stretch to the back. And bend the supporting leg. I can hear in the other room, Yvonne's must be getting tickled or something. She's giggling, kind of cute. Reach the tailbone back. Fingertips forward, open up as you twist and follow the gaze, follow the hand, reach behind you. Yeah, good. Relax the hands, flex the foot, take the toes outward, drop pull the hip back, take your chest forward. You're gonna feel that on the outside of the thigh, hip, maybe into the lower leg. Good. And that one usually is like, oh, hi. Good. Slowly come up out of that, shake it out. Let me do a little dance, yeah? All right, I want you to go ahead and push or take that chair off to the side. We will use the seat again to prop our toes up on or our heels. So maybe have it within arm's reach. We're gonna come down to the ground. Not really sure what's like. How's everybody feeling? Okay here? Yep. Okay. So I want to see y'all. Okay. Valerie Stone. Hi. I know you. I'm glad that you could make it. That's my mother-in-law. So I can say that. All right. So we're on the ground now. We are going to kind of just come into an easy seat first. So I want you to start with your feet out in front. Now, if you don't like your knees to be straight here because you feel like you slouch, you could either sit on like a thick book, like back in the old days, we used to say it like a phone book, and some of those don't, live anymore. You can always bend your knees too to kind of take that tension off the lumbar spine a little bit. Okay? I want you to point flex your feet. Point flex. Using those little bitty feet muscles just to get them moving and grooving. Good. And now let's add some tension in it. Grab some Kleenexes with your toes. So curl those toes under. Hold those Kleenexes with your toes and then pull them towards your face, keeping those toes tucked under. Yeah, feel that? And now flex your toes towards your face. So you might even feel a stretch through the hamstrings and calf. And then keep those toes. Pull towards your face, but press down with your feet. This is a brain game too. So, good morning. Point those toes, tuck them under, grab some Kleenexes, and then pull them to your face. This might cause a little bit of like shakiness through your foot, but it's just strengthening little muscles. Pull those toes towards your face, and then press the foot away. Good, shake it out. Nice. Now, widen the gap between your feet, okay? Give yourself a little bit of space. Take your toes together. We're gonna do like a windshield wiper motion. Take your foot out. You're gonna feel this within the hip socket. So take the toes together. And they might not touch, that's okay. But the goal is to feel this articulation within the hip socket as you take your toes in and take your toes out. Good. Everybody should kind of feel that right through the hips. Now we're going to draw a big circle. We're going to take the toes in, almost touching, maybe touching, and then point them towards me and draw a big circle like you're trying to touch the floor, and then draw them out towards the side, and then pull them towards your face, okay? We're going to do that again. So toes meet in the middle. Point those big toes towards me, drawing a huge arc, huge circle, out and up. Good. Last time together. Point. Find distance here. Open and forward. Good. Shake it out. From right here, I want you to go ahead and come into a 90-90 position. So we'll start in a butterfly. Maybe grabbing your ankles and gentle press outward with your thighs. You're going to feel a little bit looser through here. Just with the movements that we've already done. But I want to get into our hips, low back, quads here. You guys are very familiar with these exercises. This is very stretchy, not as much strength focused. So take one leg, bring it around. And it might not, your setup might not look like mine. That's okay. But I want you to shift your hips forward and back. Give yourself that little self-massage in the hips. Good. Just kind of moving, seeing what's tight, what feels a little bit more sticky. And then you're going to shift the hips forward, and this back leg, you're going to try to draw that knee back slightly. Now, as your hips shift forward, you might already start to feel quadriceps stretch here, the front side of the thigh. If you're good there, you stay here and you just take some deep breaths. You want to take it a little bit deeper, grab your ankle and pull your heel towards your bum. Okay, that's going to kind of open up that hip just a little bit more, for lack of a better term. It's just stretching through the thigh. Now, one thing that we sometimes forget here is we start to do some funny things with our spine and chest. Keep those collarbones proud here. Draw the shoulder open. Good. And then bring the heel in. Good. Take a deep breath in. And out. Release the tension in your leg. And then slowly bring that heel back towards the bum. Good. Slowly let that foot come down. Frame off this front knee. Pull your spine nice and long. And we're going to stretch this underneath hip. Walk your fingertips out. This might be a good place for you to start. Maybe you already feel this in your hip. Or maybe go down to your forearms. Or maybe your forehead. But whatever place you stop at, make sure that you can breathe in that position. And take 3 deep breaths for me. Slowly press yourself up and take that outside leg. Grasp the shin with your hands. Take the opposite hand up and over. Feel the front side of these ribs. So it's getting instead of the side, it's going to get more of this front aspect. Lift the fingertips high. You can look up towards the ceiling and feel that stretch. Good. Let's switch sides. So take the feet back together. Kind of shift your hips if you need to. And then let's go to the second side. So that little shift around. You might notice that one side is a little bit looser than the other. That's okay. Especially after Monday. We did a good workout. So if you were there, you know this is great for those hips. Now, shift those hips forward. You might draw this feet back a little bit and you might start to feel a stretch there. Stay there if you like, or you can grasp the ankle and pull in towards your butt. Now again, proud chest, fingertips light on the ground, holding, balancing for you, drawing that ankle in. Shoulders relax away. Don't forget to breathe. Release that stretch just a little bit, and then slowly go back into. Good. Slowly release that foot down. Frame off this front knee. Pull your spine nice and long because we don't want to go into it all like congested up in front. We gotta open up to the torso. Walk your hands forward and pull yourself down. Now you might stay right here, or you might come down to the forearms or forehead. Don't get frustrated if one side's a little bit looser than the other. Stay here and kind of allow yourself to melt down into the ground for 3 deep breaths.
I love you today, baby.
Slowly press yourself up. Take your hand to the shin. Sweep the arm overhead. Get that nice side stretch. Be able to breathe into your ribs. Allow your breath to help you get that stretch. Slowly come up. I want you to go ahead and grab your chair, kind of bring it in a little bit closer for you. Because we're going to use it both for a saddle stretch and then also for our final breath posture. So I want you to take your feet on either side of your chair. Now it might be wide for some of you, but Shannon, you're on this call. Make sure that you don't go too wide. We want to keep you in a good neutral space. That way you can focus on getting the lower back moving and feeling it more in your calves and less in that hamstring, high hamstring, okay? Softening the knees, bending the knees is also an option here if you feel too much tension behind your knees. Also, you can make this gap a little bit more narrow, that saddle stride a little bit more narrow. It's just up to you. So find something comfortable. You're gonna take your hands to the seat of your chair. And I want you to keep your sternum proud, so your chest nice and proud, collarbones wide. Try to stick your tailbone back like you're moving the back wall and walk yourself forward on the seat. You're not gonna go very far if you're doing this correct. Point your toes, then flex the feet. Oh. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, point your toes and allow your chest to drift over. Good, one more deep breath. And out. Good, last time. And out. Good job. Slowly walk your hands back in. Take your hands underneath where your knees live. Bring it in. And those knees come together, feet come together. We're going to come onto our back here. First, allow the feet to be on the ground for me, and then we'll take them up, okay? So we're kind of rounding out our class right now, but I want to get those hips up, and then we're going to go into breathing, okay? Coming onto your back. Feet about hips distance apart. Press your ribs down. Squeeze your butt. Lift up. Good. Allow your head and neck to relax. Full foot on the ground. And slowly, one vertebra at a time, come down. Shift your hips, shift your knees. We're gonna do that again. Squeeze your bum, press the ribs down. Lift the hips towards the sky. Don't forget to breathe here. Slowly articulate the spine down to the ground. And lift your feet onto your chair. Your knees are gonna be over your hips. Relaxing the shoulders away from your ears. You're going to take some deep, deep belly breaths here, taking your hands to your lower abdomen. Relaxing the shoulders into the mat or your carpet or whatever you're on. Release the tension in your brow. Soften your jaw. Allow those shoulders to roll open and allow your feet to relax. You should feel supported here with a chair. If you don't, maybe walk those feet in a little bit closer to you or turn yourself closer to your seat. Take 3 more deep breaths here. One more deep breath. And then one knee at a time. Pull one knee into your chest, and then the other, and rock side to side if that feels okay. Good. Slowly roll over to one side. Take your time. You've been on your back for a while. Use your top hand whenever you're ready to press yourself up. Come into an easy seat, whether that's the feet in front or crisscross like this. All right. Let's free up those shoulders a little bit before we go. Shoulders drift forward, press the ribs and chest back. Feel that expansion through your shoulders. Reach your fingertips towards me and try to touch my fingertips. Pressing your chest back, peeling the shoulder blades forward. Chin to your chest. Then slowly pull those shoulders back. Retract them, so pinch them back and down and open the thumbs back towards the back leg. See how we just did the opposite? So now we're opening up to the chest. Take a deep breath. Feel the expansion in your pec muscles. Then tuck the hips, ribs press back, sternum presses back, fingertips reach towards me, thumb towards the sky, and try to breathe into your back as your shoulders come forward. Breathe, create space to the back. Slowly roll up. Take the thumbs back. Pull open, shoulders drop away. This time, chin lifts. Inhale, both arms overhead. Exhale, right hand, left knee. Other hand comes to the base of your spine. Final twist here. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, using this hand, look and twist over your back shoulder. That should feel a lot looser and more just accessible right now. Drift those arms back overhead. Exhale, twist the other direction. Inhale, lengthen, grow tall. Exhale, use your hand to help assist with that twist. Slowly unwind, allow your hands to drift to your knees. Take your chin to your chest, but pull tall through the back of the head, so don't sink. Pull tall, ribs press back, chin tucks. Think like I just lifted you up by your ponytail. And then do the opposite. Pull the spine nice and long, but lift your chin. You might feel a little stretch right here. Back to center. One ear to the same shoulder, but allow those shoulders to stay awake. Here's what I don't want to see. Yeah? Or like, okay, I reached my shoulder. Nope. Allow those shoulders to drop. Then the ear travels over, creating space, as much space as possible on the open side. Coming back to center, pull tall and long, other side. Deep breath. Coming back to center. Thank you, ladies.